here today, and as well members of the media to the Fredericton Public Library. Today our purpose is to launch the Coalition of New Brunswickers, Public Power for the Public Good. And this is a transformation of the Coalition of New Brunswickers NB Power Not for Sale, which had a single objective, which was to stop the sale of assets of NB Power to allow the opportunity for a comprehensive energy strategy be developed that would be put to the people of New Brunswick. With the closing of the deal back in March, a steering committee of the coalition has been working on a regular 2-week basis to develop the basis of a response to the momentum and the energy of the social movement that occurred in New Brunswick over the winter. My name is Tom Mann. I'm one of the coordinators of the Coalition of New Brunswickers Public Power for the Public Good. And with me today is a partner and coordinator of the coalition, Auguste Galland. And Auguste will provide commentary en français, and I will do the commentary in English. So to begin, we have a package that everyone has, and I'll walk through the package in just a moment, but just to give a background and to provide the bridge between the NB Power Not for Sale coalition and this new coalition. It's part of an evolutionary process of the awakening of the electorate in New Brunswick. And over the last number of years, New Brunswick has been in the grip of a democratic malaise, where we've seen less people coming out to vote. We've seen a decrease in the level of political trust, increased cynicism towards politicians and traditional forms of political participation, and sadly, a growing disengagement of young people from politics. We all learned a tremendous lesson over the winter. We have, as the electorate, what we want to do is make sure that those seeking election in the September 27th election have also learned the lessons that we learned. We had an angry at times, a highly cynical population who stewed over the abandonment of the democratic process on the largest deal our province has ever embarked upon. From every corner of the province, every walk of life, in both official languages, New Brunswickers decried for more open and accountable government. But before we simply blame our elected representatives, we citizens and electors have to take a hard look in the mirror. What role did we play that contributed to the politics of those people that we witnessed in the winter? So this is what woke us up. We don't want a repeat of the behind closed doors decision-making on an issue that is so vitally important to the future of New Brunswickers. The lack of public knowledge over the proposed sale of the assets of NB Power was truly the last straw. We witnessed in broad daylight the significant chasm that has grown to exist between the electorate and our elected government officials. Many MLAs appeared uninformed of the purpose and the details of the deal. Cabinet solidarity was broken, breached not once but twice. Misrepresentations were made in the Legislative Assembly, excused by a mere dismissal. A cabinet minister became ostracized because he stood up for his constituents and was subsequently dismissed from caucus. Non-elected players played a high-level, secretive roles in the deal. Information and details of the deal were strategically withheld from the public, to the point that we had to go to the Court of Queen's Bench 2 days before the deal was pulled to gain information. And many MLAs went in hiding from their constituents. the Coalition of New Brunswickers NB Power Not for Sale invited all MLAs to all of our public events, including our Options Summit on February the 22nd, to which not a single government elected official showed up. Citizens want to be involved. They want to have a real voice in decision-making, and would like to see a more responsive, accountable, and effective political institutions in this province. Healthy political systems should allow voters to engage in an ongoing dialogue with government decision-makers. If we don't get the information, or if we're not able to evaluate the information because we don't know who paid for it, we're likely to make bad decisions as an electorate. Now, our question is, who has and who should have significance over our government? The public or big business? In 2010, isn't this the time that citizens have an opportunity in our province to influence the relationship they have with the candidates who are seeking public office? So what the Coalition of New Brunswickers NB Power Not for Sale has transformed themselves into, in response to the public's cry for a clear democratic process. And that was evident in our rally on March 20th. The theme there was democracy. We have evolved into, as I mentioned, the Coalition of New Brunswickers Public Power for the Public Good. We have three particular activities that we're undertaking in advance of the upcoming election. And they are identified on the nice salmon-colored page that you have before you. Our three activities are intended to be very straightforward and very easy and electorate-friendly. They are, firstly, a citizen's petition, which you have a copy of. The citizen's petition is designed to have New Brunswickers register their support for an energy policy, participation in the development of that policy, and renewed authority for NB Power. Now, the issue that brought New Brunswickers together back in October, late October of 2009, is still a significant issue for many, many people in this province, but it has gone underground. We, as New Brunswickers, recognize that the issue of an energy strategy and an energy plan is critical to the future of New Brunswickers, and we'd like to see and be a part of that. So there's a citizen's petition that will be circulated throughout the province in hard copy. It's also on the Coalition's website, which is being launched today. And we will record the numbers of New Brunswickers participating in that petition. And that campaign will run now until the week before the election. Our second activity is something we're simply calling Questions for Candidates. And this is where the meat of our Good Government campaign rests. We are seeking, and you have copies of the questions that we have formulated to ask every candidate of every political party. I have to restate, it can't restate enough, that the Coalition of New Brunswickers is nonpartisan. We intend to continue our practice of being open to every New Brunswicker. But we want to ask politicians questions that they've never been asked before when they knock on our doorsteps and when they attend public meetings and barbecues through the summer. We want politicians to be asked and to answer honestly that if they are elected, will they act honestly, ethically, openly, and responsibly for New Brunswickers? If they're elected, will they push to establish legislation that controls the impact of lobbyists? We want to know if politicians will provide a democratic process using the Stuart Jameson example, that they will represent the constituents whom elected them. We also want to make sure that, and then we'll ask the politicians directly, and I think you can appreciate this is quite refreshing in New Brunswick, but asking them and having New Brunswickers who are now have a greater awareness of the political process, asking them if they intend not to mislead the public. not to switch party between elections, not to keep secret information that the public has the right to know.